Hey everybody, Ben here. Going to do a Sunday morning ink blot. I was drawn to blue. I guess this one's called teal. Definitely had some throat chakra issues going on. Got violet, black, and green. So I'll take a picture of what I dropped and then we'll fold it and we'll go from there, pull some cards, see what's going through. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, everybody. You should be able to see a picture of it before I folded it, and then we'll pull up a picture of it in general, and then I'll have a whiteboard pop up to kind of show you what I'm seeing. So in the very beginning, I was drawn here to this center, which kind of looks like a bug, and a dragonfly came to mind. If we look down here, the tail almost looks like it's disconnected from the body. And if you look at a tail, an airplane, or a bug used for stability, balance, if this disconnect is taking place, I also saw these little guys. If we look at the I don't know if I want to call it the life cycle, but through a bug's life, obviously we start as an egg and then larva, nymph maybe, or I don't know the full dragonfly process, but these little guys. And if we reference this to the tail for balance, maybe we're in a place where we need to balance. Are we spending too much time dwelling in the past that is creating instability? Or do we need to utilize the past to remind us that we've gotten through things before, that we're going to get through this again? Dragonfly is, if I'm not mistaken, normally found in a very healthy ecosystem. There's a lot of abundance there. Are we searching for that? Or are we in it and we're missing it? We're not seeing it. Sometimes when we have a goal and it doesn't go exactly the way we want to, we miss that we're actually there. We're already there because we had this structured plan. And if it didn't go step A to step B, C, D, E, we think we've missed it when really we're already there. There might be kind of showing, how we have these colors out here. Maybe we are there. And we're in this place where it's a little darker and we're not seeing what's there because of this structure. I don't know why I'm being drawn to go that way. There's a lot of beautiful colors out there. What is out there, Spirit? What is out here? A lot of entanglement, which naturally we all are to an extent. Queen of Pentacles reversed. Neglect. We were neglecting to see what's already there. Again, if we were in this rigid structure of how things were supposed to pan out, we wouldn't be able to see it. Just did a message on a bunch of cattle trying to get over a little waterway, and there was a bridge off to the left. They didn't see it because we were just focusing here, this very direct way. And if we can only see this channel, we see this greenery trying to come together. But right here, it's white. There's nothing there. There's a void. When really, there's a lot more to be seen. But we're neglecting to see it because we only wanted to see it right here. And with that view, we can't see beyond. That's natural. I'm not knocking. I've done it plenty of times. I think we all do it to an extent. What is that view, Spirit? I heard release. The release of control. Four of Wands. Joyous occasions. This could be that to know that we were there, it had to feel a certain way, or it had to be a certain way. Getting heavy chills on this. And I get that. But until we change our perspective, we won't be able to see. A lot of times with manifesting and goals, aspirations, things like that, we have our view of how it should be. And obviously that's going to limit us. And most of the time, what unfolds is obviously that song, you don't always get what you want, you get what you need. And I'm not going that route. What I'm trying to say is what we wanted was this line, and really you see how small that is, and there's so much more here. And until we can see that, we won't feel like we're there. What do we need to do to see, Spirit? Open your mind naturally to see what is there. Three of Wands, expansion. Open our mind. Expand. And this is so hard to do. I get it. Especially if we're in a tough place. If we're out of balance with our tail, we got a void here, and we got a void here, and we just see. When we expand our view, take our emotions out of it. What does it really look like? And then we can start to see, what's important to us. What do we truly want? Let's take off the physical attachments and the emotion, and then just go into us and figure out what do we really want? What did we want with this goal? What was it going to bring us? And then start to put everything back together and open up and see how it's probably already here. What are we missing, Spirit? Seven of Pentacles, patience. This one's difficult. I'm not a super patient person. I've learned to become. But sometimes when we think of that, it can be in a way of submitting to circumstances, which granted we have to at times because they're out of our control. Maybe we're in a place that we're trying to do something, but yet circumstances aren't allowing it. So obviously fighting that, it's going to create a lot of resistance. I'm not totally getting that here. Patience to see if we're changing our viewpoint on things, it's going to take a bit for us to completely register that. We can think this is off topic, but just healed something, and it comes up again. But it's really not a problem, but our body's reacting to it because it's in us. It's programmed in us. Our body always reacted this way. Think about when we eat. Every time of the day I eat at this time, our body's going to get hungry then. When we do these changes, it's not just here. And if we rip a bunch of stuff out in the external to make changes, we got to change too. And like I said, it's not just our mind. Like our body it's a clock. We get tired at a certain time. We sleep till this certain time. All these things are real in our experience. And there's a lot of things that got to catch up. And I know we always don't want to hear that. Again, I said I'm not always a very patient person either, but we got to nurture ourselves as well during that process and be okay with understanding that, hey, there's a lot more moving pieces here than just an action. Of course, if we just go with that basic analogy of the body being programmed, nervous system, all these things, this used to scare me, or confidence, I'm in this situation and now I am confident, but now I'm starting to feel unconfident. These are things that we don't want to identify with at the point that I know I've healed, I know I've worked through this, but my body's telling me a different thing. This viewpoint, this view. Be open and talk ourselves through that. Six of Cups reversed, release. Releasing these things. It's going to be different for everyone, depending on what it is. If this is a mindset or in our body, you're really going to have, easiest way to example is like anxiety. Let's say we've worked through a confidence thing and basic, I don't know, going to the store and not feeling claustrophobic or trapped there in a checkout line and someone's bumping you with their cart type of deal. Yeah, we've worked through it up here, but our body's going to have a response to it because it doesn't know it's okay yet. It doesn't know it's safe yet. I've always done this. I've always reacted this way. We're going to have to talk ourselves through that. Releasing that, as I said, it's going to be different for everyone depending on what it is. But talk to ourselves. Talk to your body. It'll listen. When you start to get worked up about something, like whether frustration or anxiety, your body's already having a response. Before you can talk to yourself, before you can have that thought in your mind, it's already responding. Okay, it knows what to do. I'm just doing what you're telling me to do. And a lot of times we don't want that. But inside this emotion, this feeling, something is telling it to. Oh, when this happens, I'm going to respond this way. We got to talk ourselves through that. Like, hey, we don't do that anymore. However it looks at it in your life, work through it, and you'll figure out what works and what doesn't work. This goes through this viewpoint. Hey, I've made all these changes. Maybe in the past, everything that we've tried has always failed, or we've always had a hard life, or always short on money, or this relationship, they always cheated on me, or they always made me feel inadequate, or like I don't have a say in things. Well, I worked through those things in the past relationships. I ended them. I saw it for what it was. I healed that wound. Now I'm going to go into this relationship. Deep down inside, our body's going to be expecting it, and we can manifest that. But say, no, this time's different. I've healed that. I have my walls. I know what's mine, what's not mine. The gaslighting, the manipulation, whatever it may be. When we walk into that, we have to remind ourselves, it's not like the past. I've changed. My vibration has changed. It doesn't work in my vibration anymore. It cannot come in anymore. We have to remember this and release the idea that this is going to replicate because I did the work. I healed, however it may look. What about balance? What do we have to do with our tail? Spirit. Last judgment, self-evaluation. This kind of goes back to, as I was saying about these little guys, seeing how far we've come, how we've molded ourselves. Like that whole relationship comment I was making about, okay, I was in bad relationships. I had a wound. They were showing me that wound. They were reinforcing that wound. I've healed that. I've recognized it. I've worked through it. I now have respect for myself. I now have my own boundaries. I can see the red flags. I can see the bullshit for what it is. This person that I'm meeting now, hypothetically, I need to trust myself that I've healed, that I've done the work, that I'm not going to fall into these traps again, and repeat the cycle. That cycle is closed. I need to get my balance by remembering where I came from, what I went through, and what I healed, and who I am today, and validating the fact that I do have the strength, the courage, and the knowledge to navigate this, you know, like an adult, not a page anymore. One last card here, Spirit. Please and thank you. Queen of Cups, emotional wisdom, emotional intelligence. By going through these tough times, yes, they hurt. And whatever may have taken place isn't fair or right. I'm not writing that. But through that process, we've learned a lot. And that can't be learned in a book. We can't categorize these things. We lived it. We know it. We've healed it, and we've moved forward. We need to remember that, embody that, be it. You are it. And with that, I'll leave it there. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe. And I wish you all the best. Take care.